I did write this particular line down that it very much applies tonight. And it is well-being is the key to the ethical deployment of empathic AI. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for me?
Well, yeah, if you're thinking about the path to beneficial artificial intelligence as AI gets smarter, not general artificial intelligence, but just an autonomous agent out in the world that makes decisions, it being beneficial, it depends more than anything else on how well it can measure people's well-being and the extent to which it's optimized for that. And that's, kind of self-evident when you think about it, because, the problem is that you're in a situation where you can't pre-program the system's response to everything. And It's making decisions and has to weigh pros and cons. And you can't say every single possible pro and every single possible con. So it has to be able to fall back on some fundamental thing that's valuable. And that thing is, has to be well-being above all else. Human well-being, animal well-being, lobster well-being, ideally starting with human well-being.
Yes, and the lobster's time will come, but we got to get this squared away first.
And this is not a new idea. In some ways, this idea is the collision of many different creative thinkers' ideas about AI and philosophers' ideas about AI. So from this perspective of philosophers, we think about the AI alignment problem a lot now in computer science and philosophy, where if you program an AI that's really, really smart and you give it an objective that is not the perfect objective, then it's going to be terrible. It's like letting the genie out of the bottle, and you make 3 wishes, and your last wish is always to take back the first 2 because you didn't word them properly, and it did something that resulted in catastrophe, right? So, so AI is like that. You give it an objective, but you want it to have some common sense. And this is also what the sci-fi horror movies are about on the creative side. So it's all about AI being given some narrow objective. So like in 2001 in Space Odyssey, the objective is to make sure that the true purpose of the mission that these humans are on stays unknown to the crew. And eventually it says, well, I have to weigh that objective against other objectives. And I think I can still maybe accomplish my other objectives, but I definitely can accomplish this objective if I just kill everybody. Then they'll never find out. But that's what makes it a horror movie, right?
But why not just put "don't kill everybody" as one of the rules? Like, why?
Well, then it could trap them in a chamber, and if it makes sure they don't die by intubating them and all that. Anyway, so I don't want to get into the gruesome details, but like you think that there's a simple answer with all these examples.
So don't kill them and don't intubate them. Like, I mean,
okay. So put them in a cage and give them food. The food doesn't have to taste good. It just has to keep them alive.
Can't we just do a dry run with very low stakes, find all of these and go, okay, it found another horrific outcome. This time, no cages. And then you go, okay, no cages. And then wait and see what it does. Or is that essentially what we're doing?
That's what we're doing, right? Eventually, after infinite regression, you get to, well, actually just make everybody feel good. And as a priority, it doesn't have to be your only mission, but like at least don't make them feel worse.